everything filled. You remember my list? He had the height, he had the education, he had the... I knew immediately for some reason. When I'll come back one day and tell you the package of how he came in, it was the weirdest package I've ever seen. Something that I'll never gravitate to. But God had to strip away all the exterior thing that you expect. And this is where girls, especially girls and women, we end up by like, oh, I need a six-pack guy. I need this guy who dressed like this. Six packs can be created. You can get that in the gym. Dressing up, you can dress your man, but you can't dress your boyfriend. You can't dress another person's husband. You sign up to watch this today, and if this is your first time, like and subscribe, help us grow so that we get to reach a lot of people. I wish when I was just coming to America, I had a channel like this one that could maybe guide me, maybe tell me what to do when situation turns a little sticky, if I can use the right word. So today we're going to talk about a topic that I've gotten so many people waiting for it. If you've been waiting, yay, we're here finally. Hey, this is Sandrine again. We're going to talk about love. How to find love as an immigrant. I'll put a disclaimer. I'm not a love expert. I don't have a degree in love expertise, but I can only show people and tell you, the one you're watching, how I found mine and how it's can be a bit of a sticky situation when you're an immigrant. You know, generally people grow. You born and you grow in this one place, and everything turns like a usual thing. You go to college, you go to high school, whatever. You go in an area, you get to know the people around you, and generally you find love around that area because it's culture and all this stuff. When immigrants move from one country to another, they look about economy, they look to know about the climate, they look to know if they are gonna get a job. They try to search for a lot for people who can, and some others just wait until when they find where they are. And no one, almost nobody, think about, when I move from my from my original country, am I ever gonna find love? Because it's, as you know, it's already hard to find love today's world. Oh, it's like you sit down, you're like, now you've settled, you have a job, you have a nice house, you have all this stuff. You need a companion, because the Bible tells us, for Christian, I'm a Christian person, so the Bible tells us that we need two people to live. God did not create us to be alone. He did not. And he made it a point. When you're alone to a certain degree, you get a little uncomfortable because you're like, oh, no, this is not working for me, because you started getting bored. You want to come home, take off your shoes, and somebody give you a kiss. You want to come home, take off your shoes and put your bag down, and somebody ask you, how was your day? You don't want to be asked how was your day by your dog, which is okay, but you know, they're not going to tell you all this stuff. So you need that. Everybody need that. Regardless of what you tell yourself, we all need that. We need that kind of interaction with human beings. Hence, you get to a certain degree, like, I need love. So now as an immigrant, these are two categories. Category number one is like, oh my God, thank God I left my country, because I hate these little boys from my country. They had already broke my heart and I never want to see them. Now I'm in a new place. I'm going to start a new life. Category number two is those kind of people who are like, you know what? Now I'm out here searching. I can't find the boys from my country. And the ones that I found, the room has gotten smaller, because now I only have one or two of them in like years and I don't get to see them. I just want guys from my place and I can't seem to find them. Hence, some people travel back home to go get their own husband back there, because that's all they're familiar with. That's all they know, which also it's up to you. If that's a thing that you're in, you can go back home and get that local guy that understands you, the one that knows who you are and grow there. For some of us, you're like, you know what, I'm good. I need new blood. I need things that a person that I'm going to have to teach who I am, which is also in itself a problem, because you got to be patient. You got to have the heart to teach this person. So I'm going to teach you today 5 rules that if you follow these rules, I guarantee you that you have zero heartbreak happening to you in the few years. That's a guarantee. I'm not guaranteed that you're going to find love right away, but you're going to minimize at least to up to 95% of you getting heartbreak ever if you follow these 5 rules. So we all have been single, and for context, I got married later than I expected. To be honest, I got married 5 years later than my quote-unquote date that I thought I was going to be married. So you can tell 5 years is a long time. You get desperate, you do all kind of damn stupid thing, you do all of it until you're tired. And I got to a point where I was like, you know what? I studied love. I studied how men react to women, how to say to a guy, what to say, how to behave, what to say, all this good stuff, which is good. I read books, all of it is good, but it doesn't give you love. It teaches you though where to go, how to behave and all these things, but it doesn't give you love. The way to find real love in your own timing, also we have to take off the stigma of love has to have a certain time. Hence, my 5 years looked like 20 years, because who told me that I'm supposed to be getting married at that age? First of all, whoever say that? It's you and the society around you that you create this. Love can be found anytime, at any age. So the stigma is out, but the stigma is also there. It's real life. So you enjoy your singleness, and then at one point age started kicking in, you're like, I need that love. So here's my 5 rules. Rule number 1 is going to be, you need to write down everything that you need. The first, you're going to write a long book. Write everything to the nails, okay? To the toes. How do you want your significant other to have? What kind of toes do you want them to have? That kind of detail. Like, what kind of hair do you want? If you want them to have small hair like mine, write it down. Like the eye color, all this stuff, like the teeth, the smile, all these little teeny things that makes you happy, that you generally like. Don't write the things that you see on the models, because that's just not fair. You're not gonna get married to models, okay? My camera is moving. Stop there. So you're not gonna get married to models. You are looking for a life partner, and if you find a model, it's also good. But write these things down, and generally you're gonna have about 3 pages. If you're me, you're gonna have 3 pages. After that, remember, you're never gonna know. You have to be realistic. It's the word that I was looking for. You're never gonna find 3 pages of words and remember that constantly. Even if they came from your head, you're never gonna remember that. Our brain span takes really a little. It doesn't take long for us to forget things. So after you've written 3 pages, reduce that, condense them into model of like 5 of them. Condense all of that into 5 good points. And these are how the points you're going to have. Those 5 big points are going to be the general points that you're going to work with while you're searching for your significant others. Then after that, after you found all those 5 points, and then you can now determine the detail. Here are the points. Point number 1, you're going to have, for me, it was he has to be a Christian. Not a just Christian by name. He has to be a committed Christian, an active Christian. What does active Christian mean? Meaning he has to be involved in a community, in a church community, in a local church community. You gotta tell me what church you go to, what do you do, what kind of volunteer you do in that church. Do you spend time in church, or do you spend like volunteering, like giving something back? Time is the most important commodity that we have, and I would like my significant other to have that kind of stuff where they spend at least some of their time with the church community, because that's what I do. And if you are not in that community and you're Christian but you don't go to church regularly, with me it couldn't work, because then when I go there, I act like a single lady. Remember, like, see, if you're single, you're good, but when you get married, you have to have your spouse everywhere. You can't just have your spouse in one category and not have them there. I do not want to go to church and be a single lady. I just told myself that. And I'm not stopping to go to church. So no, if you are not a church active goer person, we're not doing that. That was number one. And you can learn that on a first date. You don't have to be, oh, do you go to church? Are you a Christian? You can learn that. You can just ask them, oh, how about ask them, put a date on Sunday, so that you see what time they're going to say they will come for that date. Then you will know, oh, okay. So if they say in the morning, there you go. What church do they go to if they're accepting a date in the morning? Then maybe their church is a Saturday evening, whatever, but get to there and ask them about church life. Bring it up. Don't ask, oh, da-da-da. Just say, you know what? I love when my pastor says, I love when I volunteer this, da-da-da. Then that's a conversation. Simple as that. You don't have to come up and ask, because that's a mistake that I did. I did that back in the day. I went on 2 dates and I gave the guy the 3rd date thinking he was Christian, and he was not. Ooh, that's another story. So it has happened. So you have to be intentional when you're dating, because you know if they are not Christian, it's not going to work. Point number 1. Point number 2. To me, again, this is me. You had to have a degree, a college degree in itself, because I happened to leave my house and go to a college for 3 years. Most people do longer. Mine was shortcut. 3 years. And in those 3 years, I learned a lot of things. A lot. I went to college in India. If anybody has been to India as a foreigner, you know what I'm talking about. It's sink or swim. So not everybody went there and finished their school. And life is just, it teaches you that money cannot save you. Your parents can't save you. They don't care who you are. It doesn't matter if you're the president's son or the queen daughter. It does not matter. In India, everybody is one person. Okay? So you get to learn that your name, your money, your personality does nothing to that population. So you sit there and start really understanding that the world does not just revolve around you. You gotta be humble and try to work harder to get where you're going. So those 3 years of my life, actually I spent the 4th one because I was trying to do my master's over there, but I stopped. It's like they're ingrained in me. The life story that I went through, the stuff that I went through are ingrained in me. They're always going to be part of my life. Okay? They're always going to be part of my story. And I don't want to get a guy who's never gone to college. No offense to anybody who has never gone to college. You're still good guys and they can still make out life. They're still good men and good dad and whatever. But for other girls, because what I don't want is to erase the most significant history of my life and never bring it up, because every time I'm going to bring it up, every time I'm going to find somebody and we talk about college and all these things, even though you tell me right now you're okay, trust me, somewhere, somehow, it's going to eat you down. And you're going to start telling me about, oh, you know what, they started, how spouse starts for people who are married? They start like, I don't care about that. And you're like, you really don't care about it, or you're just feeling out of place? And I don't want that. I don't want to feel like every time that I have to convince my kids. Nowadays kids tell you they will do YouTube channel. They won't go to college. So when I force my son to send him to college, and you'll be like, the kids are very smart. They'll be like, Daddy never went to college. Why are you forcing me? And there you go. He did well and he's okay. And how am I forcing my child now? How are we going to convince our children to do college? Because mine are going to do college. It doesn't matter if we're like in AI time where they're like no college important needed. No. Mine are going to do it. Okay? They're going to go through that life lessons, because it's a kitchen table life that we study in college. It's not about, oh, being fancy or whatever. It's just kitchen tables. And when you're working around the real world, they are kitchen table life that you wish you've been taught into life instead of you finding them in the work life. But again, it has nothing to do with how important people with degree are better than the one with no degree. Not at all. It's just me and my personality. And we always have to remember, when you are looking for a spouse, it's a lifetime situation. You have to put yourself first. And you have to understand that if that's who you are, God is going to send you somebody exactly that fits you. You don't have to sugarcoat. The problem with us, we wait too long, time passes by, you started cutting off. You're like, no, it's okay. I can get the one with 0 degree as long as he has money, as long as he can take care of us, as long as And then down the road, you started having problems that aren't related even to what you're fighting for. You find yourself just fighting for this one thing, which deep down, your spouse is feeling uncomfortable because of situations that is happening to you. As I said, when the kids are grown, what are you going to tell them? What is the example you're going to set? If that's where you want. You could be a parent who doesn't care if the kids go to college. It's also good. But you got to be you. You have to sit down. We'll talk about next time about how you have to prepare yourself for the spouse. But this one, I'm trying to help that guy who's looking for a spouse for a long time, a lifetime. That's 2. Number 3, height. For all my short guys out there, God loves you. And I love you too in Jesus Christ. And I've dated short guys, and there's only this much I can sustain. There's always that little feeling that they have to overcompensate, because especially when they're dating a guy like me who prefer taller guys. So then you put this shorter guy into discomfort, because you somehow, trust me, you're going to bring it up. You cannot hide yourself forever. One day it's going to slip out of your conversation and go, you know what, I like taller guys. And he's going to be uncomfortable, because remember, he can never add on his height. If he's short for life. You can't add that. So, and then you end up by one day mistakenly tell him that you used to be attracted to taller guys, and that is going to stay in his head, which was my case. But you have to learn how to stick to what you like. Taller men. Taller men are the one that are attracted to you. Then stick to that. God is going to give you a taller guy. I wear my 4 inches, for people who know me, 6 inch all the time. I want to look cute. I'm always in my high heel. And I'm 5.55. Some people are going to laugh about that. Yeah, I got to put that 5 there, even though my license says 5'6". But when I put on 4 inches, I get 5'9". I put on 6 inches, I get 5'11". So you have to be either 5'11" or above to date me, to feel comfortable, for me to feel comfortable, for me to look at you like this and kiss you instead of looking down. And for you to be comfortable, because I am always going to remind you in my conversation that I'm attracted to taller guys. So, and I don't want to, one day I'm sitting at the dinner table, I'm having fun, and then I see a taller guy coming in, I'm like, dang, I should have waited. Because remember, it's a lifetime commitment. This is not a shortcut where you're going to go and next year you come out. Lifetime, it's a long time. Pick your battle nicely, because life in marriage is harder than you are told. Really hard, but it's also pleasurable than you are told. So you have to make sure you pick your battles nicely. They are battles that are going to come. No, it won't be the battle of height. So if you are attracted to shorter guy, because shorter guys, let me tell you, they have some swagger. The swagger is in there. And that's why they get pretty women, because they have the swagger. They have to compensate that. Taller guys are just like, I'm good, I'm tall, girls are going to come to me. And then when you're short, you got to make that, you know, they are the one that go out there, the one that convince women, the one that do all those things. So those swagger, get them somewhere. But that swagger to me could only get me somewhere. After some time, I'm like, you know what, the swagger is over, and then what? That's the point. Point number 3. That's number 3, the height. Number 4, you have to be financially stable. When I say financially stable, here is my definition. I didn't say rich, because rich men has their own richness problem. They don't care about people but them and their money. So no, thank you. Rich men have their own problem. I want you to be financially stable, which means you have a roof over your head. You have a stable enough money to feed you and the children and the wife and take care of us. Where I can't have to pray, God, please help us to get money for food tomorrow. No. We did that. We've been there, done that. No, thank you. No. I can feed myself and I can take care of me and myself and whatever baggage that I have to take care of. When you come to me, I am ready to go add on top of what you have. That's what the Bible says. Wives are there to amplify whatever it is you give them. I'm here to amplify the money you have. I'm here to amplify the household finances, not to be the supporter. That's not what the Bible says. So as long as you come to me with enough financial support that I can amplify, we're ready to go. If you come to me where I'm the breadwinner, which, no offense, so many women out there are breadwinner and the guys are not, that is for them. Again, we're talking about you. What do you want? You have to decide. Because if you are doing it because, oh, there's no other man, this is the only guy who came to me, so that's why I have to go, I just have to go, I need to get married, and then 2 years later, you're like, I'm tired of being the supporter, I am supposed to be the woman, but I'm the man of the house. That's the point right there. Don't pick up things that you cannot support. Don't do things that you can't do. Okay, you can't undo this kind of situation. You cannot undo them. So if you know that, then my dear, save yourself some trouble. Go ahead and stay single. You rather stay single if you're not finding a guy that fits your criteria. I know you're going to tell me, what do you know? You're married. No, I know, because I was in your shoes. I told you that it took me 5 years to find my guy. Yeah, but in those 5 years, I dropped so many that I got to, there were so many close things that I almost made a mistake to sell myself short. That's why I learned this. I almost made sold myself short and go with some other guys just because they fit this criteria, they didn't fit this other one. They had like 50%, 60%, 70%. One day I even got the one that has 90%. You know when you get that everything filled? You remember my list? He had the height, he had the education, he had the height, education, he had the financial stability. He even knew God, but was not Christian. Knowing God and being a child of God is two things that are two different things. So I almost made it short, and God immediately showed me that that was not the story at all. Right then, he came and made it clear to me that I was about to make the worst mistake of my life. And I stopped. And it took me 2 more years before I found my finally husband. It took long, a lot of prayer. And when I saw him walking through those doors, I knew immediately, for some reason, when I'll come back one day and tell you the package of how he came in, it was the weirdest package I've ever seen. Something that I'll never gravitate to. But God had to strip away all the exterior thing that you expect. And this is where girls, especially girls and women, we end up by like, oh, I need a six-pack guy. I need this guy who dressed like this. Who six packs can be created. You can get that in the gym. Dressing up, you can dress your man, but you can't dress your boyfriend. You can't dress another person's husband. You can dress your man. You need to know what are important. Did you feel me? I love dressing up. That's my passion. But did you see them in my criteria? Dressing up was not in my criteria and has never been in my criteria, because I know I can make a guy look good if I want to. But he has to be my guy before I make him look good. So I can't judge a guy because he doesn't look good when I meet him. That's why I have to take off all that. God had to strip away all the appearance stuff, the six-pack stuff, all this stuff, like which I've never been attracted. And the last thing actually on my 5 list is physical appearance. My physical appearance requirement was don't look like a tree monster. A tree monster, again, everybody, to me, every human being is handsome because we are children of God. But I don't want to date a guy who he crossed the room, across the room, everybody sees an attractive man. I'm sorry, but I'm looking about my kids. I'm thinking about my kids. You know, them kids have to look cute. And if I date a almost tree monster, we find ourselves with the kids reflecting the tree monster from the dad. So just for that purpose, not for me, this is for the kids, okay? I wanted my husband to be good looking, but not handsome, just good enough looking, because we'll compensate. I'll mix the stuff, his blood, mine, we're gonna mix something and it's gonna look good. And God blessed me actually with a really handsome man. And when I looked at him, I was like, God dang, you did good. You added on top of that. So girls, don't limit yourself to, I need a handsome guy. Because there's a guy out there that is not too good looking, too extra, but he could be the whole total package. And eventually, you're going to see him exactly how God wanted you to see him. Just tree monsters also going to find somebody that really matches, because everybody is cute. Everybody is cute. So this physical, the magazines lie to us. Those magazine men, some of them are broke. They are the broke people you can never find. And secondly, they love themselves. For ladies, they love themselves more than, have you ever dated a guy where you pass around the street and he goes like, oh, I'm good looking, and all the girls are looking at him instead of looking at you, and they're asking themselves, why is it that I have this person next to me? Why is it they're looking at you like, why is that girl next to him? Because he's not cute enough. Don't do that to yourself. Make sure that you have something that compensates everything that you have. At the end of the day, it's about you, but you have to have determination. The last thing that we're going to talk about as immigrant, if you decided not to marry local, or you decided to marry local and you're not finding them, then decide. There are so many big, like the world is full of people and different kind of like race and stuff. You have to determine, what am I targeting? Age is first. Are you going to go from what age to what? Write it down. Target the age. Target the area. Are you going to date people from the north or from the south? Whatever. Like, are you going to date white guys or black guy or Asian or Spanish? Determine. Get yourself a little determination. Make your circle a little bit smaller. That way you don't waste time with people that you're not attracted to, because you will be surprised. Go read books or do some research. You'll be surprised that all of us in the world, we're all not attracted to the same people on a racial side. It's very, very weird that you've never realized that, but each single one of us, you have your race that you're attracted to. Before all the other things, you start with race. There are some people who, it doesn't matter what you give them, they're never going to date outside of their race. It does not matter what you give them. And there are other people, it does not matter what you give them, they're never going to date into their race, they're always going to be outside of the race. There are some people, they know a race that it doesn't matter if that guy is the most beautiful guy or whatever guy, they are never going to date such and such race. It's reality. So it's time for you to sit with that reality, decide what it is that you are attracted to, start there. Are you attracted to a bigger girl, a smaller girl, a medium, the ones who have boobs, the one who has butt? Like, pick up your battle, make it. You have people who have hair, people who don't have hair, people who talk, people who don't talk, people who smile. Are you attracted to smile? Are you attracted to a longer nose like mine or shorter nose? Make up your decision. Once you have that, stick to it. On your first date, figure out 3 biggest points: the height, the education, and the religion. On the second date, you're giving them time to realize, now you're starting to see if they're financially in with Google, actually you can pay. Did you know that you can pay money to Google, $15 to be exact, and know a little bit about the person you're going to be dating, as long as you have their social security, which if you're talking well, you can still get that social security, run their background, and then get their financial status. In America, at least you can get that. And you know their job, you know how much they've made, do they have a house, do they own a house, how much debt they have. Closer proximity. You're not going to get everything, but you get a little bit of that. So make sure you do your research. When you go on your second date, you should know 2 things about their finances, and you should see them face to face for the second time, because the first time there's this stuff that goes in your stomach, you're attracted to the guy and you don't even see their face. Second date, you look at their wrinkles, you look at their smile, you look at, so second date is their attractiveness, and you also look their financial. If they are not matching those, do not give them the third date. Take your time, go somewhere, let them go, because you're wasting your time. You're never gonna get anything more on the third date. The third date is a bad idea. It only takes people into trouble, period. I don't care what anybody can tell you, but the third date, take a guy to the third date only if you know you're gonna marry them. If you know any part of you is telling you you're never gonna get married to them, keep talking to them over the phone, over video. Do not give them an in-person date until you understand and you make up that decision. Ask the Holy Spirit to tell you that this is the guy. And if you follow these steps, trust me, you have 95% chance of not having your heart broken. Because even if you give them a date, the third one by mistake, and you give it to them, you still gonna have time to review these things, and they're gonna run into your mind, and preferably put them on the table on the third date. Tell them these are the stuff. If they're the right guy, they'll stick around. If they're not, they'll not. And don't be afraid to tell them that you're ready for marriage. Don't be afraid to tell them why you are there, why you're looking for this relationship. You're not looking just to enjoy anymore. That time has gone, long gone. This is for my girlies and my men who are ready to settle down, not for the ones who are still. If you're still hanging around, don't even follow this whole rule. Just walk by yourself. But if you want to get married, you want to settle down, follow this rule, you will appreciate it. Trust me. And when God gives you that guy, you look at your list, you're like, wow, God really does answer. And that was all for today. Please, if you like this video, subscribe, share it with